One of the things we do during the regular season on Monday morning, superlatives coming out of the Sunday that was. So what the hell, 11 games, closest thing to a regular season Sunday that we're going to see for a while. Chris, let's do some superlatives. What do you got coming out of last night?
Well, I think I'm feeling dangerous, okay, is going to be my first award or superlative, and that goes right to Baker Mayfield. I mean, to come out in a preseason game like that, again, I know we're all excited about the Cleveland Browns, but then when the product on the field matches what we're hoping for, and there's not even Odell Beckham Jr. or Jarvis Landry out there, what Baker Mayfield did, I mean, holy hell, Batman. I mean, it's just lasers all over the field, perfect passes, great pocket presence, and then the touchdown pass. I mean, a 30-something yard or 24-yard throw, kind of into a tight window, perfectly thrown. It just was great to see. I mean, Baker Mayfield, his energy, his talent, you could see the energy in the stadium there in Cleveland. Just was a really cool moment. And what a way, I know it's preseason, but still, it's a great way to start it. It just gives your team such a great positive vibe.
They had 37,000 plus there for a scrimmage on Saturday at First Energy Stadium. There is excitement for the first time in a long time. Legitimate, plausible hope and excitement to the point where I'm still concerned the bar is a little too high. They're going to have to come out of the gates fast and strong, or you're going to have panic in Cleveland because they are expecting big things. And I'm a big believer in Baker Mayfield, as are you, and I think he's going to lead this team where it needs to go. You and I both believe they're going to be in playoff contention. They may indeed make it, but so far so good for the Browns in 2019. All right, my first superlative for today. This is the There's No Competition Until There Is a Competition award. The Giants, to their credit, they've taken a lot of criticism this offseason for picking Daniel Jones 6th overall when they had another first-round pick 11 spots later, for how they've handled Odell Beckham Jr., how they did this, how they've done that. Do they have a plan? Who knows what the hell the plan is? The plan is there is no plan, and we're not telling you what the plan is. I think with Daniel Jones, they have a plan. And the plan is to continue to keep the ball in Eli Manning's hands until they're ready to take it away and give it to Daniel Jones. And they're not going to declare there's a competition. They're going to downplay it. They don't want the kid to fail. They know it's not good for him or them if he does fail. The bottom line is they thought enough of him to be the 6th overall pick in the draft. He should be good enough to win this job. And I think if he wins the job, it's going to happen quietly, it's going to happen slowly, and then it's going to happen suddenly. And we're going to find out, hey, Daniel Jones is the guy. And I don't know when it's going to come, Chris, but, you know, the other part of this genius, and that word gets used sparingly with the G-men, but the other part of it is they are crafting a scenario where the fans are going to clamor for Daniel Jones. And that's a tough sell when they love Eli Manning. But I think the fans have come around to the idea it's time for a change. And if you can make them want Daniel Jones, it's so much easier if you do go to Jones, and he does have some struggles at first because the fans are behind the idea of sticking with him and letting him become whoever he can be.
Yeah, so we'll see how it plays out, but certainly a great start for him. I mean, you know, we talked about some of the rookie quarterbacks. He looked like he belongs. He looks like he more than belongs. And I know it's preseason game number 1, but first off, it's great that he got off to the start he did because, hey, he's been a lightning rod here in the New York area. I mean, if he threw an interception on the first drive, everybody, this is what we're talking about, blah, blah, blah. So great job by him executing, and not only just executing physically, the ball, again, like we talked about with some of these other guys, it popped out of his hand. I mean, he looks athletic in the pocket. He's got a good presence about him, calm demeanor, and some of the throws he made were great. It was a great job, not only by him, but Pat Shurmur and some of the play calls they had, too, to make sure he got off to a good start so the negative narrative didn't start. I'm excited for it. Again, I know I was critical of the guy coming out in the draft. I did not think he was a first-round pick. I'm a Giants fan. I mean, anybody should know that. And I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for the Giants. And he's certainly answered some of my questions, and we'll see how it goes through the rest of the preseason. But it was a real good damn start. I'll say that.
All right, what else you got by way of superlatives on this Friday morning?
You know, since it's I don't want to go rookie quarterback again, but I'm going to go rookie quarterback again. You know, I'm going to go out to Arizona where this comment came from. He is who he thought he was, right? And I know it's the old Dennis Green.
Close enough.
You are who we thought they are. Whatever the hell. You're right. I'm close enough. You know me in English. We're not always simpatico.
You are who I thought you were.
Yeah, a dumb blonde who used to play football. Either way, Kyler Murray, you you and I were texting, I think it was like the third throw. Like, okay, that we've seen enough. We're not concerned anymore. And again, it is preseason game 1, and I'm not trying to make him into Tom Brady yet, but you just have a feel for when guys are special, and it just looks special, and it just pops off the screen to you. I mean, just so comfortable how he's controlling things at the line of scrimmage. Oh, I'm backed up on my own 3-yard line. No big deal. Zoom, out route. Oh, zoom, another out route. Oh, let me scramble or get on the run. Zoom, on the money. I just he looks like he's going to be a superstar, and you could see why everybody's raving about him in Arizona right now.
And here's the thing, Chris. All we saw was him moving behind the line. We did not see him put the pedal to the metal and take off. That's the other aspect of his game that will reveal itself probably in the regular season. There's no reason to use it in the preseason, but maybe in one of these games when he plays a little bit more. And next week's game against the Raiders, nationally televised, so we'll see hopefully more of him than we did on Thursday night. But he's still got that. It's that combination. It's the Mike Vick legs, but the ability, and I don't want to invoke Patrick Mahomes here, right?
Yeah.
But look at how and is it because he's so small that it's so jarring when the ball comes off of his hand the way that it does, and it has that kind of zip? Would it not be as stunning if he was 6'4"?
Well, maybe. I mean, it is a little bit of the motion and theatrics of how he throws it, right? But it's just such a quick release, and he can do it from so many different angles, and it's just explosive and how he kind of loads it up and does all that. He's got great mechanics. So, yeah, it's like a little bit like Brett Favre, where I don't know, it looks cool. Or Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers just looks cool when he does it. I don't know what it is about him, but he looked like he belonged, and you can see that the kid's got some special attributes about his game. And you can already tell the players like totally believe in him, not only just reading the comments, but just the way they act with him and interact with him on the sidelines, on the field. So Arizona Cardinals got to feel good right now.
I think the decision to draft him first overall already validated. Could you imagine how the Cardinals would feel today if they were watching the highlights of Murray's first performance? Again, it was limited, but it's like he passes the eyeball test.
Yes.
He brings it to the next level. There's a lot more that he needs to do, but so far, you check that box with that giant Sharpie, man, because he's going to be an upper half quarterback minimum. The question is, how high does he climb? All right. I alluded to this earlier, but I didn't have enough time to really flesh it out. The New England Patriots get the Road Warriors Award because they thumped the Lions last night. I know the score doesn't matter in most cases, but 31-3 suggests to me that Bill Belichick is salty about the fact that the team was 3-5 on the road last year. And think about it. The Super Bowl champions had a losing record away from home in the regular season last year. And he talked about that in the context of joint practices earlier this week, that it's valuable to take practice on the road because they're so conscious of their struggles on the road last year. They lose in Miami, it seems like, every single year, and they go to Miami, if I recall correctly, fairly early in the 2019 season. I think that Belichick has a different energy and a different vibe this year. They've figured out how to hold serve at home week after week after week after week. They now have to figure out how to win more than 3 games on the road, and they're going to be committed to it. Week 2, after that game on Sunday Night Football against the Steelers, they go back to Miami. He gets back together with Brian Flores. And I sensed last night that there is an urgency to this team this year to win games on the road, especially early in the season.
Yeah, Mike, I mean, shocker. New England's thinking next level and doing next level things. I mean, it's like it's just status quo. And, yeah, I mean, that's what Bill does. You know, we had a weakness here last year, and he's going to attack it and make his team very aware of the weakness and just going to beat it in their brain and tell them they got to overcome it. And I was going to use them as one of my superlatives too, Mike, because I was going to throw out a well-oiled machine or something like that, because it's just unreal. I mean, they come out in the preseason game 1, and I know, Tom Brady's not even out there, and it's just Brian Hoyer, boom, 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 oh, touchdown. He'd go a few drives. Jarrett Stidham comes in, it's boom, 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 touchdown. I mean, it's just unreal how well they're coached, how they execute all the time. And, hey, it was fun to see some of those young guys like Jarrett Stidham and N'Keal Harry, show their worth here. And N'Keal Harry, I expect, is going to have a very big role for Tom Brady and Josh McDaniels in that Pats offense?
I think the bottom line is this: because they were 3-5 on the road last year, they had to go to Kansas City for the AFC Championship game, and I think Bill Belichick realizes how close they came to losing that game. You go back to 2015, they had to go to Denver. They lost that game in Denver. They have to be able to get that 1 seed and force the road to the Super Bowl through their home stadium. So all it takes is a game here or a game there, and I think he's determined to not let that team duplicate 3-5 on the road and to not have to go back to Kansas City. It's like Apollo Creed at the end of Rocky I. There ain't going to be no rematch.
Right.
Because I think Apollo knows the next time around they're going to lose that one. They got lucky to a certain extent. Well, they got lucky with the toss of a coin ultimately in overtime. They don't want to have to go back to Arrowhead Stadium for the playoffs in 2019.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.